Hello YouTube, it's Brady. Welcome back. Alright, I did a good job making my presentation look nice. Um, Wait a second. Is everything still okay? I think it is. Alright. So we got historical imagery on this bad boy here, right? And so even if we go all the way back as far as we can go to 85, it's still in this condition. We just don't have very much detail until we get till about 2006. But in 2006, we don't see quite as much evidence of excavation going on. See, this is excavation. This is them coming in, making paths in to come and excavate these buried structures. There's obviously houses buried right here. All right, exactly where the houses would be, are where we're seeing evidence of buried houses. All right, properties, houses, structures in ruins, buried here, and then they're coming in and they're excavating them one by one to sanitize it for public use. Now, if we come further along in 2013, now we got more evidence of coming in. Maybe some of it's looting, but it's most likely sanitizing for the mainstream narrative, cleaning up any problematic artifacts. Like the Smithsonian is famous for destroying evidence of our, of our true history. Now look at that. Look at that. Now in 2018, we got this wide swath here that they sanitized. See, just go back. Just go back 1 year. And let's see, 2017, but later, and then 2018. Look how much sanitizing they're doing. This isn't construction, right? This is not construction. They're not constructing anything, are they? They are sanitizing. All right, they got a whole operation going on, sanitizing this area. Okay, this area is being cleaned up, sanitized for to fit the mainstream narrative that we were force fed in K through 12. Bullshit that we got force fed, but we've been lied to. Obviously, this is evidence of the civilization that the biblical Great Flood wiped out. The biblical Great Flood was not wiping out some knuckle dragging cavemen civilization. They were way more advanced than we are. They were making chimeras, for Christ's sake. They were more advanced than we are. Alright, they talk about nuclear war in the Bhagavad Gita. Alright, that we are not more advanced than we've ever been. We cannot duplicate almost any of the megalithic structures, certainly not the pyramids. We can't even duplicate this right here. This is a swimming pool. There is no clean spots at the bottom of normal waterways. I don't know. Like, they didn't just dredge this out. There's this concrete bottom here. So this is essentially a swimming pool, a gigantic one. Now, let's just show you in feet exactly how large they are. So from one end to the other, we got 112 feet. So it's about 100 feet, probably exactly. That probably is what they were going for. Oh boy. Okay, start over. There to there. Yeah, they made it exactly 100 feet. So it wasn't some arbitrary number either. They did this with precision, right? Exactly 100 feet wide, um, concrete bottom, and then buried structures here. Now, there's other areas in the Bahamas where we see uh, very similar stuff, expensive undertaking that's in ruins now. This wouldn't have been cheap. It's not as nice as the one I just showed you, but this is still not cheap. This is a man-made waterway, and then there's properties here in ruins. Okay, so and this would be unrelated to what I was just showing you, because you can look up on Wikipedia some bullshit story that they give us for why this exists. But there's all kinds of similar things all throughout this area, because this is what Edgar Cayce said where Atlantis was. But obviously, if they were more advanced than we are today, and we are a worldwide civilization today, Atlantis was also worldwide, which is why there's pyramids found worldwide. And the pyramids in Egypt, King Tut's DNA was European DNA. And they also have Caucasian mummies in China, near the pyramids in China. Okay? We've been fed a whole crock of shit about our history, and I'm getting close to figuring out what our true history really is. Now, Caucasian DNA does not come from people that just migrated up north where there's less sunlight. Okay, we're actually from a planet that was further away from the sun. And that planet is now the asteroid belt because it got destroyed in warfare. Now, also here in San Francisco, using the historical imagery, we can also see evidence of the same cataclysm. Or no, a cataclysm is that cataclysm means a fire, I believe. But whatever the case, this is evidence that the Bible is not lying to us. This is not just a tsunami. Tsunamis don't consist of sand, right? This is all sand. Sand that has covered streets that obviously already existed. Right? Here's a street. Oh, sand. Oh, but the street continues this way. Same name. Same street. It just happens to be covered in sand right here. Huh. What do you think came first? The sand or the street? Obviously the street was there before the sand. And so this wiped out a civilization that predated this sand's arrival. Okay, and nothing in the narrative we were given explains this sand here. An earthquake, the fire and earthquake of 1906 doesn't explain all this sand. Okay, we were lied to, and you have to have a little bit of intelligence between the ears, or you're not going to be able to figure out that you have been lied to your whole life. Okay. Now, as you progress in time, the sand gets cleaned up over time. All right. So lots of sand, less sand. Right? Lots of sand, less sand, and no more sand. A little bit of sand and lots of sand. Okay, so yeah, someone told me that they watched hundreds of mud flood videos, but I have the best evidence of it, and I'm not just regurgitating something that I heard somewhere else, or that somebody else discovered. This and the other thing I showed you are things that I discovered myself, and of course I deserve some kudos, some attaboys for that. I don't have to ride my own coattails from a past life. I should be respected well enough for the stuff I've accomplished in this lifetime. Let me know what you think down